to watch it live. But the November meeting, the one correction is that Mike McCoffin should have had an excused absence. If you want a chance to look those over, they were circulated with the agenda.
Was it both November and December? Because I was there for one meeting, but not the other.
Does it list you as?
Could we take a
Separate,
vote?
the-
Approve
separate.
separate?
So, oh no, absolutely. We'll consider. There's no motion on the table. So
Motion to approve November? Yeah.
with the one correction, all in. Let's take a vote so we make sure you know. Yes.
Is that,
No.
I approve November.
I agree. It was December. Abstain.
Okay.
Yes. Abstain.
Yes.
Yes, and I vote yes. Otherwise, we don't have a quorum voting for it.
That's why we didn't approve last time.
We discovered the minutes that we have to have 5 votes for something, no matter how many people are here. Is that it?
We had so many people abstaining, we didn't have a quorum.
Oh, we did have a quorum voting for it. Okay, that's it. So that was approved with 5 votes yes, 3 votes abstaining. For December,
December minutes with a couple of corrections.
which correction? I didn't mention the corrections for December.
Kelly, yeah, you did send me a correction, I think.
Oh, yeah.
December.
What was the correction?
You mentioned it at the last meeting.
Well, December was in the last meeting.
Oh, right. Never mind. You're right. Yeah.
Let me just check real quick, because I thought there was no. I don't have any corrections for this one.
I have a motion to approve December. Second?
Second.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, let's all double vote. Okay. Yes, you said?
Yes.
Abstain.
I'll abstain. Yes.
Abstain.
And that we only, I need to, Kelly said yes, abstain, yes, abstain, yes, abstain, yes, abstain.
Yes.
Is it yes?
Abstain.
Abstain.
I would, yes.
And you, Diane?
I abstained because I wasn't here.
We only have 4 votes, 4 people vote. How do I?
Well, somebody,
Oh,
was
sorry.
Mike McLaughlin.
Oh, wait a second, why do I keep coming up with 7 votes? No. So you voted yes, I voted yes.
I voted yes.
So we have 5 approved, and, but 5 to 3.
Yeah.
5, no, 5 to
5, 5, 4, 0 against, 3 abstentions.
This might be the, sorry, okay, it's been
That's
approved.
fair. Yeah.
Variance agenda, 3400 North High Street, GC 22048. The applicant seeks a variance to allow projecting sign displaying automatic changeable copy with the current uniform urban commercial overlay. Understand you're going to want to explain the second variance you want, and just make sure that the minutes reflect that. Okay, the floor is yours.
Thank you. My name is Eric Zartman. My attorney represents the applicant, my law firm Hunter and Hodge. The applicant here is Stephen Hutchinson. I have copies of the application with the fashion. Would you mind passing this around, please? Thank you. Thank you. So we are here on a traffic variance application. You'll see in your packet what is being proposed. It is a laid sign on the 3400 building, which is just on the corner of there in the southeast corner of Broadway and High, North Broadway and High. So this was inspired by Steve taking a trip, and he's a longtime business resident in Clintonville, and he was inspired and thought that this design would look at this building and be a big contribution to the community of Clintonville. So the sign has 2 components. First is the identification of the building, which is the 3400 address, and then below is the proposed change copy sign. The uses in this building currently are, well, a proposed restaurant and then offices on the upper floor. There's been retail in there before. So the idea of the change copy sign is to advertise the uses within the building itself. This is a commercial overlay area, so change copy signs are not permitted under the zoning code, so that is the purpose of the variance request, is to allow change copy in the commercial overlay district. We had a comment on our staff review results that we received, and it was that, very, very technical, but a change copy sign on a sign needs to be over 50% of the graphic area of the sign. Our change copy area is less than 50% of the area of the total sign. So we're requesting to have a variance less than 50, the change copy part less than 50% of the total graphic area. And then lastly, we're requesting a special permit. This special permit is requested so that the change copy sign can also advertise community events such as farmers market, school, church events, day, time, stuff like that. And it strictly prohibits off-site commercial advertising. So they won't be able to advertise any other businesses, but strictly for commercial, off-site commercial community, or off-site community activities. I'll be happy to answer any questions about the variances and technicalities of that, but at this point I'd like to pass it over to Steve. I hope you're all familiar with them, and he can kind of give you his ideas behind the sign.
Put these out, or you pass these around. Like, these are some around town. That's like a sign on Broadway, New York. But I looked at this, and our building has enough surface area between the new canopy and the top. So I'm gonna pass these out. And our tech sent these over today. This is to scale. So this kind of really, I mean, you're looking at stuff there, you're looking at, there's measurements on here, you've got measurements. But I think this here can really put more of it in perspective for you and what it looks like on the scale of the building. And, you know, we don't want anything too big or structures up there that would look gaudy. I mean, that's not our goal here. But we had to ask for a special permit, as Eric was speaking, is I can't run anything for community service or anything back. Time, temperature, farmers market, 4th of July parade, and we would like to have that option to do this if it was passed, because also you come into Clintonville, there's 60,000 cars that they come through, they don't even know they're in Clintonville, a lot of people. Then we had a marquee out front of the building to start with. It was 64 square feet. I don't know if you guys remember the old sign. I pulled it out. It was 6 foot high by 10. Just a little bit. That was what used to be in the front lawn. And we lost that when we took this in here. Now, I was told one time we was allowed to keep this 64 square foot, but I don't remember who told me that. But anyway, I think we're under 64 square foot here. But we also will have additional square footage for across the canopy. Because whoever puts in a restaurant or whatever, the other operator will have lettering out there. So that, leave it up to, some questions or anything on that.
Now, morning, Commissioners.
So Steve, where is like signage for your tenants, like yourself,
It'll be there.
Broker One?
It will be there, because that is, I believe it's 5 to 5, so what we'll do is we'll hold it. When nothing else is coming across this, like I had stuff, it'll hold the tenants inside the building. That's what we're using that for, to replace the mark or the sign out front. So it'll hold each of the thing, and we may do like we have Broker One Realty in there. We may have Broker One Realty there, maybe hold that for 5 minutes and the next 10. We can set it up. It's time, but it has to be set in time without, it can't run continuously, right, Eric? I mean, with the code, it has, because of traffic, it has to come on and stay at one thing, then you can, for so long before it switches. It can't just be constantly like a strip or anything like that, a news center or anything like that.
How many potential tenants do you have in the building?
We'll have the restaurant on first, so that goes on to something else. You'll know that you'll have the restaurant up there, whatever they're doing, you'll have 3 floors of tenants. You'll probably have I'll probably have 10 tenants back in there. We're not, that's what we don't have that currently, but that's what typically we have, about 10 tenants in the building.
So a change copy sent in has a benefit of when tenants move in and out, it's a lot easier to advertise the space in there, and also limit the size rather than a multi-panel monument sign or something like that might advertise the space.
So I just wanted to read the planning comments from page 1 from the City of Columbus under planning. It says, planning does not support the request as presented and requests additional information. The Clintonville Neighborhood Plan 2009 discourages electronic or digital signs. As such, planning does not support the automatic changeable copy features of the sign. Planning could support the color changing LED strip, but requests additional information from the applicant on how that feature will operate, specifically how frequently it will cycle through colors. So I'm wondering first, why the Clintonville Neighborhood Plan wasn't considered in the design, and second, how you would answer their other questions, since they seem more open to the color changing LED strip.
Yeah, thank you, that's a good question. Recognize that planning documents are important for communities, and they were developed in partnership with the area commissions themselves. So we don't take lightly that we're asking for a variance from a particular development standard that was in the planning documents. But again, Steve is inspired by something he thinks that'll work on this site, and it's appropriate for his building. Hopefully, you folks would agree, but it seems to work with this, and so that's why we're particularly asking for a variance. It's not, we did consider it, and so that's what the variance request is for. I'm not aware of the LED colors changing. Was it?
Well, it's LED.
I mean this purple strip.
You can change it,
Okay.
but I don't see us changing it from probably blue, because, I forget what we had some choices, but I don't see it cycling through changes at all.
Yeah.
That's something that's fixed. I mean, you may go to, a different color, pink, or, I don't know what all colors it had, but maybe pink through, Cancer Month or something like that. We're not gonna cycle through any, that's not the intent on that. It's the outline of the sign, because everything else is, black with white lettering, and that's gonna shine through the lighting and stuff for the address. I didn't even know that was a question, but that's what he was asking.
Well, you also mentioned the traffic, which is maybe 30,000 through that intersection every day.
Yeah.
But you're also next door to an elementary school, and I don't know that any of those New York Times Square businesses are next to an elementary. So I would be concerned about distracted driving with so many, and you're having a television screen, right? That's kind of what it is. And you're changing
I'm
every
not
5
finishing
minutes.
this.
So, right, this is like a television screen, is that correct?
Now it's like moving pictures, like you would be watching television.
Like what we see when we go to the gas station now and they have these screens.
Right.
Advertise.
It's a panel that cycles through.
Well, you're saying it's a fixed image for 5 minutes, right?
So it's a still, not a video.
It'll be, the time and temperature goes up. That's what you'll see. It's 40 degrees today. And we set, the first thing is, we set the patio, when it was redesigned, we got the variances and stuff there, the patio sets, I think it's like 15 feet. They brought it up on the property line, which took more time, but we sat way in front of the school. I mean, we're not like back in their windows or something like that by no means. But as far as you're concerned about distract driving, traffic will have to look at this also if they go through. They'll have
It's
to
also
redo it.
a fully mirrored intersection with lights and crosswalks on all sides.
Does it have the ability to play a video?
I didn't look at that because that's not what the.
We certainly
I
put
just
it-
be static.
Yeah,
We certainly put a condition
And, what restaurant is going in here?
Well, we had Italian client lined up that he bailed, and we had some other people come out this past weekend to get the space. They just opened a restaurant there out of Chicago. They have 5 food concepts in Chicago, and they just opened a restaurant in Easton. They're getting ready to open up in Bridge Park, and they stopped in and looked at the space also.
Yeah, I was just curious with the restaurant image that, you know, kind of looks like a TV set there. So to me, I think advertising to drivers, do drivers really need it to be advertised to at a major intersection next to an elementary school?
I can't advertise what the special permit was for the advertising. I can't advertise anything other than what's in the building, other than what we asked for is for community stuff. I mean, that's the only reason we asked for a special permit was for cleaning up the area. So,
And I can send this, I'll find it. I mailed a notice to CCS, Columbus City Schools, they receive it, but I don't know where, I'll try to get the number of the new principal, email the new principal and send it to them and say.
I have not met him yet.
Is it her, it's a him,
I
last
don't
time.
know. I seen Miss Price at the end of the year when she said it was all in.
They had a new principal as of the beginning of the school year.
Yeah, that's what she told me. She said it's transferred over, and she said that our parking spaces that she had donated to us for 13 years, we could continue to use them. She came over and seen them on the way out last week in June.
I will send the,
Yeah.
I'll find that just to say if you want to comment, 'cause I did that when there was something new. But I guess, I've tried to bring it to the attention of specific human beings. I guess I'll let them know so if they want to comment before the commission meeting, they can.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But you said you would approve a condition, you accept a condition of no video displays on that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Other questions from the committee?
I have a question. There's an example of the kinds of off-site marketing that would be done, but it says included but not limited to, which means that everything else could be included.
Well, I couldn't think of all community events, but I think the most important part of that request is strictly prohibiting off-site commercial advertising. So the intent is everything is for the community benefit, and so on-site units and then whatever might be approach C for community information, but we are strictly prohibiting off-site commercial advertisements. So any other business or whatever, I think that's the most important thing. But I'd be happy to hear if you have any suggestions on better wording or anything like that.
Well, I'm curious, so is there any limit to the type of business that can be inside the premises? For example, up on North High, there's a pole dancing place.
I believe it's an unlimited C4 zone district, like all the properties up and down North High Street. So it is pretty wide as far as what is permitted under that district, but you know.
I think adult entertainment needs to be in the manufacturing district or something.
To your point though, I mean, that business, if it were in their building, could advertise with a fixed copy sign per the code.
Yeah, and it's a great point, Steve. Strip clubs need to be separated from churches and schools.
Oh, it's not a strip club.
It's
It's a pole. It's a dancing studio.
Oh, okay.
They teach lessons.
Yes, that would be something that would
For
be
those that
permitted.
are so inspired.
The North
It's a good workout, right?
They call it the North Pole. It's a North Pole.
And to the point of advertising off-site businesses, there are other sections of the graphics code that would prohibit that. The special permit has exceptions only for community events, and as I read it, they have to be only within the time frame of the event. You can't leave it up there for long periods afterwards. So it is limited by code already as to what they would be allowed to place on that sign. question I have is, what would you envision the process for people getting advertisement space on the sign for their events?
Well, you know what?
Planning to charge for that, or would that?
No,
free
oh,
charge?
no.
What would you be opening that up
I've been in
to?
this, community I've owned a building 20 years, so, and, you know, I was in South Florida for a long time, so, you know, here's what myself and Jamie, my wife, envisioned is. We thought it'd be cool to have something when you came to that intersection, welcome to Clintonville, this time and temperature. Here's the people in the building. 4th of July parade, 4th of July fireworks, you know, we did size this a little bit bigger, and it's still, as you can see on the pictures there, we put it in size to the building. It'll say like fireworks 7 p.m. Tuesday. You know,
And I think, let's say this were granted and the sign is put up someday, and once you start seeing a couple community events, I think people in the community will say, oh, here's a spot where I can approach Steve and then get my event on there or something like that.
yeah,
So,
but we're not charging for that. No intention, because that's the reason we didn't ask for it. If, you know, we're not asking to run advertising for the community. We don't want people calling us on stuff. You know, another thing, the restaurants downstairs, happy hour at 4 to 7 or something like that. You know, just so the people that comes there and stuff, when the restaurant has a special, you know, stuff like that, as well as a marquee for the tenants that are in the building, because we gave up the other one. It's quite expensive to do this, so I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to sell you one. Like I said, it's quite expensive to do this sign with graphics. But myself and my wife felt that there is no really marker Clintonville, like where we have that corner of the building, and we just felt, hey, let's see if this, you know.
Does anybody know why, okay, so we're talking about the overlay and why they were kind of specific about this sort of signage and overlay. Does anybody know how they arrived at this?
I can't say that I do.
I don't remember either.
I think it's to keep things quaint.
Quaint.
And I think even, I think we modified the neighborhood plan maybe in 2018, so it has been updated since the '09.
The Cooper Bank had theirs down there, Cooper State, I don't know, you know, and I don't know how they got theirs. I mean, I know, and I don't know what other districts are in town, there's stuff around the city of Columbus that has changeable things, and they have to operate so they're not a traffic distraction.
That's my other,
Yeah.
my other thought is, this is a busy intersection, traffic-wise, obviously.
They're gonna comment on this once we get there.
And is it too much of a distraction, is then my question. Somebody's trying to look at this and their phone.
You know, Keith, Kevin, the one that always set my parking lot, he wrote 1,600 tickets to that intersection.
I'm not surprised.
1,600.
Yeah.
They wrote him up in the Columbus Dispatch, he wrote so many tickets right there.
Yes.
And most of us don't know that sitting at a stoplight and looking at your phone and scrolling through your text
It's still.
is a violation, it's not distracted driving.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean,
I
you're
guess that's
right.
my point.
It may be a waste of money because they're too busy on their phone to even look up and see the sign.
I guess just as I looked, at least on the city's website, they only have the 2009 plan. I didn't know that there was a formally changed one, but I think it was.
There was a committee that met for a year, I was on it.
And they recommended, the city did the city ever adopt it?
Well, the Clintonville Area Commission adopted it, so yes.
I need to see that, because I always tell people, look at this plan this is the
And
plan.
that's where all our little forms and sheets came from, was from that group. You know, how does my plan fit into
Oh,
the
yeah,
Clintonville
well, I
neighborhood
was on
plan?
that committee.
That
I
was
don't
all from the
remember
2018.
this part of it.
Yeah.
I didn't remember, I thought we were coming up with that form.
Is it just a holdover from city code prohibiting most of them in high traffic areas and it was pulled in from that. I don't recall.
That was my
That's
inclination.
That's
I
my-
didn't have an
that's my
answer,
thought.
but I-
That's my thought.
That's
There's
probably
a lot
at
of
least
things-
part of it, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly.
That's probably where
Um,
the idea came from, but whether there was other motivations on people's part to keep that in, I can't answer that
I
question.
go through that traffic light all the time. And I really don't think if I was driving through there at 60 miles an hour, just kidding.
35
You've
is
never
Are
ridden
you one
with
of
me
those
before.
tickets?
No, but I really don't think I would go, oh, look at that sign. I think when I would look at it, would be if I was stopped
Dr. Bullard.
at the light. And, you know, especially if I was facing south, I might look at it, or if I was sitting there waiting to turn left. I just don't picture myself, you know, giving a big look.
I would guesstimate that light probably holds for turning left there and
At
coming
least
through
a
it.
couple minutes.
I was gonna say 2 minutes. Well, you guys live in the community.
Yeah, I'd say.
And that's really what we were thinking too, because that gets you, any way you look at it, you know, any way that you come up and you can see the sign, it gives you a time to know there's a bit of it built. Or who's in the building, what the address is, the marker of the 3400, so.
Yeah, the 3400 building identification number is the primary wayfinding tool for the building. And the proposed the proposed motion change copy under is kind of to reinforce the tenants inside once you're looking for the building. And like Steve said, with the restaurants, it's very helpful for specials and happy hours and things like that to change up the days and weeks.
Is there a stipulated minimum time hold?
Yes.
Is that 5 minutes or? is
No,
it,
I forget what it was, but it's
20
like,
seconds? Or?
no, it's longer than that. I do not know what it is. What is there?
I'm sorry, I can't remember.
May just know by the time you go to the commission next week.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
know that.
Okay, let him answer and then you.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, I said let you answer, you're about to
Oh,
answer.
no, I know it as a whole time, right? Because it was discussed before traffic or something, and that came up another time that there's a city code that you can't, you know, they don't
They
want.
don't want a running.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think they have the one down at the corner of Broad and High, and it runs in a strip and slip around
Times
that.
Square kind of thing.
Times Square kind of thing there, and that's what kind of leads you to having something here, because you come into the Clintonville area, and, you know, have a marker.
Okay.
So Steve, on your broker one for your brokerage, that's gonna be on this change copy.
Well, it can be.
Okay, I'm just questioning, yeah, broker to broker, and Judy
Yeah.
chime in on this too.
Yeah.
Doesn't your broker one sign have to be up at all like, I don't think it could be on the change copy.
Well, it can be inside the door, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's right,
yeah.
That's right. I never thought anything about it. You have to have, yeah, I have to have that somewhere, probably. I have to have it on those,
On the door or wherever,
Yeah.
yeah.
probably have it outside.
Right.
Yeah, you're correct, that's right.
I just want to correct, this is, I'm trying to read on the sign, no, here, sign is 5 foot 3 inches by 4 feet 2 inches.
Yeah, I had some measurements, some square footages on the third paragraph. So the 3400 part is about 34 square feet, and then the change copy part is about 22 square feet.
That's less than 5 by, that's less than 5 feet by 5 feet. And how many feet is it in the air?
Let's see.
The building's like,
Rough.
I should know this, 47 feet and a half. I remember this from the cell tower. So you kind of get an idea. That's the reason I brought the photos. That the ones that I handed out on my thing is to scale. So that's what it would look like hanging from the building.
I don't have that particular measurement because the code minimum, or the code requirement is that blades 19 feet above 8 feet, and we're above 8 feet, so that's why I didn't.
But I wanted to get the dimensions right because I know that's smaller than a lot of people's TVs.
So yes, it is. That's correct. So you know that we even had that smaller, but we didn't think that we could get 1 foot lettering on it so it could be even visible. And we were concerned about doing this thing it wasn't gonna be visible. That's still a question we have to ourselves. Is it gonna be visible enough that it would make sense to them? This is the add one, is probably close to $30,000, guys. So I'm not gonna be hard for it. I mean, you know, we can, you know.
We can do it the old school way.
Oh, but we would still want to keep the blades. Yeah, and also that blade sign, so we first designed it, and they designed it too small. Because when I looked at it, I'm like, the building's 50 feet, and I know it's going above that, but it didn't even make sense at that point.
Like a little pennant.
Yeah, I mean, so guys, I mean, like I say, if like I say, the TV thing, you know, the size of it, it's not a huge sign by any means.
So, does traffic engineering have input on this?
I don't know, did they, it would have been in the,
The comment I read was just from planning, then from zoning clearance, there was a different comment. And there was no, comment from the traffic department.
And the zoning comment was the new variance added.
Correct. I'm just wondering, is traffic engineering going to weigh in?
They would have on their staff report.
I would think, and like, we do get a staff report from them, right?
I thought,
So we have a staff report we have has traffic there, and they chose to make no comments. We have a staff report dated January 5th.
That has no comment.
That has no
Yeah, I
comment
see
from
sewer
traffic.
and drains had no problem. Oh, yeah, no comments from traffic
Very first
management,
item.
Daniel Moore.
Well, I found that interesting. I figured he had
Me
a
too.
comment. That because typically that, you know, the traffic was one of the biggest things I had there. I mean, they took the entrance on the High Street side, and I don't, you gotta put on the site, they moved me clear, they moved our entrance.
They did a lot of
all
stuff
the
to
way
you.
up. Yeah, they moved me farther east on my entry. The other old entry has to come out.
Took part of the property.
Took part of my property and changed for the change. I don't know, it almost funny.
Maybe they feel like they do now.
You know what? It was bad enough to East North Broadway property because that was way you know, where the property line was, they go back. But the last thing they wouldn't sign off on was a 1 foot, 8 foot, 9 feet strip. I had the light down there. They put their traffic light on property and in exchange for my change of use, they made me give them that property. I traded them for my change of use, but it's all good.
Our tax dollars didn't work.
Yeah, guys, you all your comments stuff, but nothing, you know, like that.
This, what you have in color, that looks like a video. You know, the
Yeah.
picture looks like a video,
Yes.
so
I
you
got
wanna
you.
put words on there, so.
That's what, I told Tim, our architect today, he should have put like welcome to Clintonville timer temperature on the ones that was to scale. I went down and picked them up there.
I think
Do
that's what
that for
scares
next
people.
week.
Huh?
I think that's what scares people.
Yeah,
That's,
for sure.
yeah,
I-
that's,
yeah.
that's not your, that's,
Yeah. For video.
but
They're already watching videos in their car. Why would they, want to watch our video?
Well, but the point would be that it would be more distracting, not something up there.
Yeah.
And so maybe you just wanna make it more clear that it will be stills and not videos.
we already agreed to that as a
Agreed that-
condition.
That's a condition.
I'm just saying that their stuff that they're gonna hand out, this looks like a video here and not words. And they said they weren't gonna have
Want to
words.
change that.
Yeah, it's a very good
Commission
comment.
meeting.
I appreciate it. We'll change it.
What a change. You did.
So you need both the variance and permit, or?
The special permit is specifically for the community advertising. We hope you support that as well.
Is that something that we have to include in?
That's
we
it.
vote on?
It's
Yes.
stated.
It's now stated, we'll have, it's now stated we'll have what's in the application plus, and we'll have Andrew read off exactly what they said from before, so we know exactly what
So we're gonna vote for 2 variances.
two variances and a special permit.
I'm just curious, Steve, what if somebody comes to you to advertise something that they have locally and you have a problem with it? How will you handle not doing theirs, but you do theirs, I mean,
You know,
you know what I'm saying?
please just pray
There
that
may
we
be
keep,
things-
please pray that we keep this, you know,
I
just
understand.
pray for that, because like,
Just
it'll become an issue, you know that, and what'll happen is that you have to count on me to use good judgment in the case with whatever we do, and typically people can't get all of them that easy unless you know me. But you guys know what I want, what we really want to put out there, and you know, a good point taken. Maybe I'll sit down and before any of your input, we make a list of things that we think that are good to put on there. So it's not, you know.
Do we have any other questions or comments? Otherwise, I'd say have him to read off what he wrote down for the second variance and for the special permit and the condition.
What was this?
The second variance is in relation to the ratio of the changeable copy
So I
size,
think
the rest of the sign,
Okay.
square footage.
So I think what I'll do then for the record is I'll use the same wording. Yep.
Right there.
So I'm just gonna use the same wording that's on in this document.
Statement of support provided by the applicant.
And then the condition goes with the third thing. That it would, no video display. Or does that go with the other one?
I'll do it
You
with
think
I think it
goes
would go with
the
the
first
first.
one?
That way,
Okay.
yeah, I would say it should go with the
Got it.
changeable copy sign. So not include video.
So, yeah, and I'm just saying, yeah, that's the new statement in support is what we need to make sure that we get, then he can make sure that becomes part of the record. You'll put hyperlinks, so that'll be part of the record that goes to the commission, so they will see that.
So the first item, well, I won't get ahead.
So the first item is, let's get the three. The first one is, the applicant seeks a variance to allow projecting sign displaying automatic changeable copy within the urban commercial overlay. That's one.
And so let's pause there. So I think what we would need is a motion for conditional approval of that.
I move to include a condition that, there would be no video displays on the sign.
All in favor to the amendment, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain?
I abstain.
So that's approved 7-0 to 1. The amendment, so now we have the condition. So the only thing we have on the floor is the first one, which is, do we have, any comment before we go to a vote? Okay.
Yes.
So when you say the first one, what are you
It's,
saying?
it's the original,
Urban
With
commercial
the-
overlay,
with
right?
urban commercial.
We are voting on
3370 to 606A
With the condition.
with the condition. That's the one that's on the agenda.
And what about the special permit?
That's not on the table
We're not
now.
voting on it yet.
That'll be another separate vote. So right now we have two, I make sure, because we have one, yes, yes, yes. Okay,
No.
no,
yes.
Abstain.
no, and I will vote yes. So we have 5-2 to approve, 5-2 to 1. And then do I have a motion to approve the, let's see,
Motion to approve the changeable copy sign and the special permit.
we already just did this changeable
The
copy.
less than 50% one.
Oh, sorry, well, yes,
Let's read
It
this.
would be 3377.08B2.
33
Variance
cents.
to allow less than 50% of the sign to be used for identification.
the first part of.
Do we have any,
Do you need a second?
do I have a second? Do I have a second? Okay. Approve,
Yes.
Yes.
Abstain.
Yes.
approved 6-1 to 1. that we have for the special permit to allow, what's the exact wording? To get the-
Off-premises sign, the applicant requests a special permit to allow the proposed graphic to display off-premises clinical community information.
Do I have, do you have a motion, second? Any discussion, we're good to vote, okay?
Yes.
Abstain.
Yes.
I vote yes, so that's approved 6-1 to 1. And now you go before the Bay Area Commission next Thursday. You have to make sure you're, I know we shouldn't have to say this, but be sure someone's there. We have people not show up.
At the library.
The library.
Yes.
Thank you for all
Been
your
there.
consideration and comments. I appreciate it.
What's that?
You've been there a few times. You know the drill.
Can't believe I didn't think of it.
I just want-
I said, you couldn't get it volunteer.
I just want to briefly say what's going on for you can stay if you want to listen to this, but it's only, the commission is,
But I hope, thank you guys, like I say, if we get through everything, I hope this becomes something that, you guys can be proud of.
I think it will.
In your community and stuff, and that's what we want, that's the goal. And like you said about the school, I'm sure I haven't met the new principal, I'll ask her about what they want to put in.
it's a he now.
They can use, something like that, you know.
No, I say it's a he, the principal is a he now.
What's that?
The principal is a
It's a
man.
man.
At least it wasn't
that,
a
because
he.
those first people she did, that she didn't know who it was going to be.
Yeah. Okay, relatively young now compared, but I just want to let you know for,
Get old pretty fast.
but it's, I think Chair Vitero said, that assuming the commission doesn't overrule him, he's going to ask the next commission meeting, he's going to ask that I stay on as zoning chair. Then what happens is, then we're going to have a discussion with the commission about what they want to see on the committee in the next year. Then they're going to make a solicitation for anyone who wants, interested in joining. So if you're interested in joining, again, they're going to want a bio so that they know who you are, just as like a paragraph. So you can, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Good
Just like a paragraph, like who you are, where you live, what you do, what you want them to know. Because I think it was last time when I just gave them a list, and someone rightfully
Yeah,
said.
we had a paragraph left.
No, it was 2 times ago then. It was 2 times
Because I
ago.
remember doing it.
Okay, just so you
It's gonna dust off the.
Don't they still
one.
have it?
Yeah. But no, but I think they're gonna want to see that, and, because yeah, that's 2 times ago that was, they got.
What was the name of that class we had to take, cause I took it, but what was the name of that?
It was a zoning training, or city training, usually city zoning and planning training, and there will be more coming up. Although this year's the zoning planning, I don't think is until October. Actually, I can tell you that right now. If you want, for those of you, mark it off in your calendar.
Who do you need to submit request to serve on the committee?
Send that to me.
Vitero.
I think it's to me, and then I make a recommendation to the commission. But the zoning training, it's October 28th downtown. It's a Saturday. I think it says 9:30 tentatively. It's
28th.
of October.
Will it be on video, there might be.
I don't know, this one will be in person. I don't know if they will also do video. And I guess at this far in advance, any promises on that is, even a location and everything,
Subject to change.
everything is subject to change. But I want you, so you all have 1 more month of duty as, under the current appointments, and then it's the next committee that takes over. So, is there any other questions? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
What were the dates on that again? For CAC?
Oh, so this CAC meeting is,
For when you need our attention. And
it's probably in the next, get it
Is
in the
the
next,
March one?
it's in the, it's for their March meeting, which is the first Thursday of March,
Which I think is the first.
which is, that's the second.
The second.
But at least, you could at least a week or 2 in advance so that they know.
So we should get it to you soon.
Yes,
Do they want new committee members?
I'm going to find out.
in the March meeting? Or
Yeah,
No,
in the
if I got
February
it.
meeting.
February
I'm
meeting?
curious.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what they want. They can have
I understand, and all of you, I appreciate all the work, it's a lot of work, and I don't think.
Well,
they-
so is it for you, we appreciate it.
Yeah, you did a really good job.
Thank you. Our first vice chair, the first vice chair.
You do a good job.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Thanks.
Well, unless we have anything else, I'm going to, do I have any objection to adjourning? Let me get this.